Good evening, namaskaram to all the friends. Well, after I think it is has been few weeks that I have not written anything and I have not made any video. But today there is a Swami Prem Vimalesh. He commented on my Facebook's the video I have shared. It is an old time video, few years before, maybe 8 years, 10 years, I forgot. I used to go to London University and some other poets gathering and participate in the poets gathering. And everybody was reading, reciting their poems. Somebody was singing, but I was reciting my poems. So sometime this old videos come, so I share it. Anyway, dear Vimlesh, you have asked me, hello dear Vedant, what are you saying in this video? Prem Vimlesh. Well, I was not knowing that you do not understand the Hindi or Urdu language. But I have seen you few times. You were commenting on my post. So I never thought that you do not understand Hindi language, but you are curious and you want to know what I have said in this video. It is very difficult to translate poetry into the other language. Not impossible, but almost very difficult for me because I am not very educated person. In my mother tongue, my basic language is Hindi language. In Urdu, I understand, I can speak, I can understand, but I cannot read or write. So this ghazal, what I have said in the video, was a Hindi Urdu kind of mixed language. I have said something about Osho. Directly or indirectly, I have these words comes through my heart, my experience, my feeling towards Osho, my emotions and love for Osho, what I have realized in his presence. So, uh, before we translate this, I will try to translate, but I am not sure that it will be accurate. The language Hindi, for me, is people who understand Hindi, for them there is no problem. Sometimes some peoples also from India, they could not understand Urdu also. But because I have lived with the many peoples in India, in Bombay also, and was acquainted with the Bollywoods. So I wanted to write songs and these kind of things. So I have not automatically, I have just was interest. So I have learned the Urdu just to understand and speak, but not to read and write. So what happens very early days in Mumbai, we call it those days Bombay. I used to go to see Osho in Woodland apartment. It was 71, 72, 73. These were the years I used to go to Woodland and see Osho almost every week, 2, 3 times because I was living nearby. I was maybe 15 minutes walks from my home where I was staying as a paying guest. So I used to go to see him and I used to write sometime poetry and he used to give in his hands. I write poetry and in the morning I go and he asks me something and I give him the paper in his hand and he read this and he said, very good. So Osho have encouraged me for this kind of writing. And once he said, on his birthday, I have written 2 poems. So he liked it very much. So he told me, give it to the magazine. Those days, there was a English magazine, Sannyas magazine used to comes every month. And there was a Hindi magazine called Rajneesh Darshan. So those 2 poems was published in Hindi and English. Somebody, one of my friend, Swami Hansa, have translated into the English. Then I got a line, I was feeling very good that Osho like my poems. So I used to write again and again. And it was a going on process. Then once he told me something about it, and I stopped that times. It is a long story in short. But anyway, you are asking about this, what I am saying in this video, so I can recite this poem, and that will try to translate in my own way. Yeah, because my English also not a Cambridge or Oxford English, or not very great English. I just learn English also from Osho. So well, this poem start here. It's called Ghazal. In the ghazal there are couplets, two lines. First lines create some kind of a feelings that it is not complete unless you recite or you speak up about the second lines. Then the people surprise, oh, oh, the meaning is, then people understand. Just one sentence or one line, people remain half, they're suspicious what is going to be the next. So that is the, uh, we call it a system of the ghazals. So, well, I will try to explain you what I have written or what I have said in this ghazal. जिसने तुझे रूबरू नहीं देखा. Now, this first line, जिसने तुझे रूबरू नहीं देखा. One who have not seen you face to face. आमने सामने में, रूबरू मतलब आमने सामने. So one who have not seen you face to face. I think rubaru is that kind of expressions, but I don't know better words than the in front of you, sitting in front of the Osho and looking at him. Then you see, looking into his eyes, and you feel very blessed or overflow, of joys. So that was a surprise for me when I used to meet him every time. I was so curious just to watch, watch, watch him, and many times I forget. I wanted to ask question, but when he is present there, I completely forget to ask him. That's why I started writing letters to him and give him in the hands. When he asked me, you have to ask something, I forget many times. So then I started writing. So anyway, this poetry goes like that. जिसने तुझे रूबरू नहीं देखा, one who have not seen you face to face, उसने गुल सुर्खरू नहीं देखा, that have not, this person have not seen the flowering of the flower. Rose flower is there. If he can see this rose flower, this is I am explaining you what it means. If you observe a single flower, so total, without any thought process, not thinking about it is a red or pink or yellow, or it is beautiful, or it's small or it's big, or it have fragrance or not. You are just looking at the just pure look without thinking. So that we call it those, those who have not seen the flower flowering, it's very difficult to if you have not seen the flower completely 100%, then you have not understood the master. Yeah, in a way, once you know the how to see, you don't need any teachings, you don't need any scripture, you don't need any temple, you don't need any god, you don't need any church or any kind of mask or prayer. The life is so present. The flower is so present into the present. He's full of joy, but he cannot speak like human beings. But he's expressing the earth, the sky, the sun, the winds. Whole universe is supporting such a tiny flower. And that is the way sun is also there. Sun is not visible in the flower, but without sun, the flowering is not possible. The whole universe is present in small leaves, small flowers. You see behind me, there is a plant, avocado. I have made from the seed, and you can see the seed on the top of the bottle and the roots. I saw this. I put in the water and I observe him every day. I give water time to time. I change the water. I then it sprout. Small, tiny shoots come. Then the after few days, small leaves comes, and then now it's growing. It's maybe almost 8 months, 6, 8 months. Yeah. So it is a for me is so mysterious. He cannot say anything, but I understand. So this is the way things go. So I cannot translate this poem, but I will still trying. Well, I have said these two lines, what it means. The third is, और देरो हरम से क्या हासिल? Now, what is the point to go to the church, to the temple, to the mosque, to the Kaaba, to the Kashi, to the Jerusalem? You will not get anything. So you will not get anything from there. If this is the third line, and the fourth is, अगर उसे कूबकू नहीं देखा, if you have not seen everywhere, each street, everywhere, if you have not seen him, then you cannot get anything in the holy palace. Pilgrimage, people going thousands of miles by walk or by flight, and they try to do so many rituals. This all becomes useless to you if you have seen him in yourself and all over around you. Things also, not only alive beings. Without him, nothing presents. So, well, it's very mysterious, but still I am trying to explain you. Time going very fast. Next, the fifth line and sixth line. बहुत देख ली ये दुनिया तूने. You have seen too much. You have already have seen the world. You have seen everything. You have seen the whole world. But आईनाए दिल हू बहू नहीं देखा. You have not seen your own heart. Mirror of your own heart. Heart is a mirror. It reflects everything. It reflects whole universe. But that reflection is not separate from the seers, person who sees in one what you call it in other language. The J. Krishnamurti always describe like observer become the observed. That is a very essential minimum words can explain it. That whole world you have seen everything. But if you have not seen mirror of your own heart, you have seen nothing. And then again the two more lines. और इसके सिवा जलवा क्या है? What else? What you call it? No, very difficult. Jalwa. I don't have the word in English. I don't remember any words which can explain this. Means expression of the beyond, the beyond the emptiness. No, very difficult to translate here. Anyway, और इसके सिवा जलवा क्या है? This is a miraculous. Nothing more miraculous than this existence itself. अगर उसे चार सू नहीं देखा, if you have not seen around you everywhere, then you have not seen the world at all. Okay, now the last two lines. खामोशी उसकी समझ ना पाओगे. खामोशी उसकी समझ ना पाओगे अगर अंदाजे गुफ्तगू नहीं देखा. You will not understand the silence of him. You will not understand the silence of enlightened being if you have not seen him gossiping with you or gossiping with the people. In his gossips, when evening darshan, not in the morning lecture, even the morning lecture was most beautiful, miraculous for me. The way Osho comes step by step and he fold his hand and he give namaste to all, and very, very lovingly he observe everybody. Then silently each step comes up and sit down on the chair and put his leg on another leg. What a awareness, what a stillness within. So people who have eyes, for them, he's walking, he's sitting, his gestures, his hands, his eyes, and something beyond the eyes. So that is I am saying that if you have not understood, you have not seen his silence. If you have not understood his silence, you will not understand his gossiping, his talks, his words, his language, his gestures. So this is the my poetry I was reciting in this video. Hope you will understand my helplessness. Normally, I live in London and you live in Paris. Today I have seen your this Facebook account, what you call it, profile. Then I come to know that you do not understand Hindi, but you never told me this before. Anyway, today surprise for you and surprise for me. I was trying to explain my poetry in the English. I have written almost 700 poems, ghazals and poetry and this and that, najams and kavita, and this poetry from poem from this book. I have another book of the poems. This is Talatums, and there is two more books are there called Sharare and Ahat, but only two are published, and one also in Urdu language. Oh, it is not here. Yeah, it is there. One my poetry books in the Urdu language with my friends. He typed in Urdu, so it becomes the. So this is my joy. Thus, because when you feel so much overflow joy for Osho, what can you do? You cannot keep it to yourself. It is very difficult to. So sometimes just your words try to convey a little bit about your feelings, your heart. You bow down to the whole existence. You become thankful to everything what you have got, because you got free this life. We have not paid anything. We have not chosen anything. Nobody asks whether you want to be born in the as a human beings or you want to. There was nobody, and we don't know where we're going to depart. Life is very short. Time is very precious. Each moment. So Osho have given us opportunity to observe ourselves and see the world and try to understand oneself. Once you understand yourself, you understand almost mystery of the whole universe which surround you all the time, 24 hours. The breath comes and goes, eyes are seeing, hands are touching, and all the five senses, even the sixth senses is there, which is not visible, but you can feel it. So anyway, now it is going very long, so I will, but some other time, if you would like to ask anything else than poetry, I will try to just enjoy the gossiping with you. And because of you, maybe some people also will surprised that I can speak in English also. So also, well, in London you have to speak English. When I used to live in the Germany. Then I was speaking Deutsch language. Now I forgot because I was now 23 years in here. But when I lived in Germany, I have to speak every day German. So you learn language and you forget also. So life is like that. Just many things happens and disappears. We also happens and one day we will disappear. Thank you very much. We'll see you again sometime. Good evening.